Alright, hello again, YouTube. We're back with the dirty little trash rat. Here's all the stuff we got in our pocket right now. Got the scrolls we're sitting on for Dungeon 4, where we're gonna read Idiom. And again, we're waiting on Dungeon 4 because we want to find the Ecumenical Temple. Because we want to get godded. Actually, I don't need to use the auto travel because the stairs are here. Okay. New floor. Oh, there's a choco. I want to eat it, but I can't. Hey, gloves! So gloves are body armor. So when you find it, and it just has a pair of gloves, we know it's not magic. It used to be that you would just find them, and if they weren't glowing or anything, they could still have a basic enchantment, but then it forced you to pick up every pair of gloves and wear them, and it was just a huge pain. So we know that these gloves are going to be +0. Oh yeah, they can be cursed. That's the only way they can be magic. But they still give you 1 point of armor class just for having them. It's the same with boots and cloak and hats. We'll get a pair just for... And cursed just means you can't take it off. Cursing isn't inherently bad. Now, things that have bad effects on them will be cursed, because otherwise the curse would be kind of the bad effect would be kind of pointless. But, like, these cursed gloves, all it means is that we're going to have to remove the curse by the time we find other gloves that might be, you know, enchanted. But it's not like these cursed gloves are actually bad for us in any way. Alright, so orc wizards, they can cast some spiels. So we are going to make them come around this corner here. Actually, we'll go to even this tighter corner here. Oh, I think we might have just lost him. We're not super stealthy, but we're a little stealthy, and I guess we just... Okay. So he hasted himself, so he should be able to keep up. Oh, and he's slow to me. What a dickhead. So now I want to just... Because I was slowed, that's why I went forward. And actually, since he's hasted and I'm slowed, this is actually dangerous. So, yoink. And we're just going to order him to fight this guy while we walk. Yeah, you know what? Since I'm slowed, we are just going to order him to retreat. And we're just going to peace out. Because that could have gotten bad. Oh my god! You see those "you feel a bit more experienced" messages? That's the message you get when you get experience off screen. So my orc, since he was hasted, killed the 2 other enemies for me. And now we killed him. Get wrecked, nerd. That was fun. Okay. Ooh! Well, the good news is these are glowing, which means they could have a positive enchantment. Now, unfortunately, it does mean that the curse on these does hurt us, though, but that's what I'll just send it, and then floor 4 we'll try to find read ID, remove curse. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this one adder come out and just walk away enough that the noise won't get anything else to fight us. Wow, I'm sucking balls at hitting this adder. That's right, we're training just short blades. We're gonna go, I think what I'm gonna do is go to 10. So 12 is min delay, but the thing about being a short blades user is there's both kind of these short blades and there's daggers. Right? And if I find a really good branded dagger, like, short blades do a bit more damage than daggers, but daggers are both better at stabbing, which lets me focus on, like, raising my stealth and getting some stabs off. And, you know, daggers are just slightly kind of more common than short blades, especially, like, ego daggers. So, I would rather, if I don't have any good, like, magic short blades, I'm still using this +0 one, by the time I hit short blades 10, I'd rather just leave my short blades and stop training it, because I'm almost more likely to find an enchanted dagger than I am an enchanted short sword. And then the min delay for daggers is 10. And, like, if I find a good dagger right now, I'm just going to use it, so. I want to summon the Halo theme for a second there. Yeah, we sort of had a lot of action on floor 2 with those uniques and stuff, so we're... I think XL6 is actually a little bit high for D3, so I think we're kind of powerful here. And there's a helmet. We're going to put it on. like we said before, it's a +0 helmet, but we get the 1 AC from it, so all is well. Here, we got a stab on that worm. How fun. There we go. Yeah, so that was a very quick floor. Remember how the floor 2 took like, what, a half hour or something? That took like 5 seconds. 3 minutes. And that's just because we got kind of overleveled and there were no uniques. The only challenge was that wizard. And even then, wizards aren't usually that bad. He just got really lucky with slowing us and hasting himself, and we kind of needed that enslave, or it could have gone south. All right, well now we've made it. Now it's time. Now this P, I'm just gonna tell you up front, the far and away most likely thing it is identify, and the second is remove curse. And we found a second ring of fire apparently. Now, as you saw, actually, if you were reading really close in the knowledge bot things, you see that Elliptic, who is one of the best crawl players, has gone on record that pips of resist beyond 1 are sort of overrated. Because with 1 pip of resist fire, I take half damage. With 2, I take a third damage. And with 3, I take a fifth damage. So it goes from 50% damage taken to 33%, which is not hugely significant. So pretty much as soon as I find any other ring, I'm going to put this ring of fire away. Now I might keep it if there's a fire enemy I see and I can like step around a corner and put it on. I might keep it in my pocket, but it's not really that important to walk around with 2 rings of protection to fire. But right now, it's literally all I have, so why not? Anyway, I'm officially guessing that this is going to be identify. Oh, we'll remove curse, the second most likely. And now we can put on these. Hey, +1 gloves. We're going to drop these. One thing I neglected to mention last time is that you can't sell anything in Crawl. Just in case people are wondering, like, why is he dropping all those things and not keeping them around ever? And it's because you can't sell items in Crawl. It's designed so you don't have to go and pick up all this loot, this crap, and find a shop to sell it in. No selling. So that's why these +0 pair of gloves. Another thing is, if you did watch my older videos, that was when permanent corrosion was in the game, where acid could like ruin your equipment. They realized that just encouraged scummy behavior of dropping your equipment and fighting the acidic thing and putting your equipment back on. So now instead, corrosion heavily damages your armor and to hit, but temporarily, and then you repair it. Which means that there's literally no reason I will ever need this +0 pair of gloves. This +1 pair of gloves, strictly better in every way. There's no such thing as corrosion, there's no such thing as selling. You can just drop it, forget about it for the rest of my life. So we're going to go through the other scrolls now. So here's identify, okay. So in this case, since now we know what we had a bunch of remove curse instead of identify, right now identify is really problematic. These, oh never mind, I was going to say these glowing green potions have an above average chance of being curing, but a monster ID'd curing for us, so I will, and it's agility. I was going to say otherwise, like if I saw that distribution and this wasn't ID'd, I'd have been like, there's a good chance that's curing. But in this case, curing is so common that we saw a monster drink it in front of us, which is the only reason we don't have 3 curings in our pocket, because the monster drank it first. So agility is really good because it gives you a lot of extra evasion and to hit, so if you're kind of getting mobbed. And we're going to go ahead and just keep on reading all these scrolls because we're looking for magic mapping, which even includes re-IDing the last scroll we have. So the blink scrolls, I'm glad we identified them, they're very valuable. You can just teleport anywhere in sight. It also gives you some magical contamination. So if you find blink like I did, just by re-IDing, you should just hit escape and cancel it, because there's no point risking that contamination. Now we're about to randomly teleport into this iguana. I wonder if we can get the stab. No, we can't. Alright, so iguanas are dangerous. Do I wand it starting now, or do I wait for him to get me once? 15 damage. It is normal speed, but since we random tellied, we're actually kind of away from the stairs. I could have actually... You can read one telly to cancel the telly you have now. And I mean, I'm not saying I should have done that for sure, but I should have considered it in this situation, right? Because this is not good. Or actually, what I should have done is I should have stepped up the stairs. For future reference. I'm starting kind of fresh on this. I wasn't thinking straight. What you should do when you read ID random tally is go up the stairs to the level you've explored. Don't do what I just did, because you'll get in the situation I just got in. So you can do about half my health in one swing. I think I'm just going to pop the random effects on him. Because the random effects can be very powerful things, but eventually you kind of grow out of it, and it gets kind of too silly to really start using. Whereas now, if I hasted the iguana, I could still pull something out of my ass and get away from it. I don't know what I want to do here about this iguana. You know what, actually, he's regular speed. Why don't I just, because I've got a good enslave on him, just try to walk back to a staircase. Because I see it and it's not super far. Ooh, I'm going to be excited to pick up that wand later. And then if this ever escalates, like if I walk into something, then I'll just enslave the iguana and we'll just fight. But if I can make it here, then why not? And save a one charge. Hey, go me. So now we don't want to go down that staircase because there's an iguana there. That's why this functionality is really helpful. Okay. Ooh, scorpions. Scorpions are intense. Yeah. You know what? I could kite one of these guys up the stairs, but even taking that one going down the stairs hit would be kind of bad, so we're just gonna... Okay. So now we're going to bring this iguana alone up the top level. Hey, looks like he's not that accurate. I might be fine. Hey, that was awesome. Woo. That's why I'm training short blades over Evo. Because in those situations where I'm like, well, since I know it's just this iguana, if he doesn't get me, I can keep this up. So we have this. Now the thing is, we've seen a decent amount of the floor. So while normally I just kind of read ID scrolls all the time, at least I find magic mapping. In this case, since we've seen a decent amount of the floor, and there's a good chance there's not the temple here, I'm going to just hold on to this un-ID'd scrolls until next floor, and then I'm going to read ID all my scrolls again. Just because now if there's magic mapping, it's got less chance of finding the temple, because I've already seen a lot of the floor, and it has no temple. What do we got? What do we got? Wand of digging. It's nice. You just get rid of stuff. Oh, we got 3 identify scrolls. Another thing to note is that so you know how you have these limited charges, right? I knew how many charges these all started with. These were my starting ones. Normally, you don't know how many charges you have. You evoke it, you waste some charges because you don't know how many there are, and then, depending on your evocations, you have a chance of learning how many charges you have. What does this mean? It means you want to have identify for important ones, so you don't have to waste any charges to identify it right from the word go. Now, digging is not one of those for me. If you're a melee character with a lot of AC, digging can be insanely valuable, because you dig what's called a murder hole, where you just go into the solid rock and dig a one-by-one passageway. So like right now, if I get swarmed by monsters, I'm kind of out in the open. There's nowhere safe to do a choke point. You can make your own choke point, and the advanced murder hole is when you dig it, and then you put a kink here, so that you can literally only see one square. And then it's really strong against, like, casters and stuff. Since we're kind of a light little squishy dude, the murder hole, I mean, it can be good for us, but it's a lot of times we just need to get out of that situation, because in a dangerous time, like, even a murder hole is not safe for us. So we don't care so much about digging. It's going to get used, but not to the degree that I want to. Especially because it's a wand that's got a decently high amount of charges, so we're likely to just, on our first couple of shots, figure it out. Okay. So it looks like we've got this one scorpion away from his pals. Alright, let's just see if we can pull this off. Oof. Nope. Okay, and here's his buddy. Can we get his buddy without a charge? I was hoping for the distraction stab before wondering why I didn't go backwards at all. Oh! No, we cannot. Ooh, shit. I almost had to use my keyring there. In fact, I still might have to if I catch a monster on the way back here. Let's close this door and hide here. Seems like a good spot. Ogres! Ogres are interesting because they're very strong but inaccurate. So he's 17. And I'm surprised they don't just put the giant club stats in here. It's also confusing because ogres are a player race, so it's kind of confusing. Yeah, so the ogres have giant clubs. So it's 17 plus 20, 37. So he can take me down to 1 health in 1 hit. They're also very inaccurate. So sometimes you can kind of dance the dance here. Like with my 15 EV, there's a good chance I just kill this ogre for free because he can't hit me even once. If he hits me even once, though, I take 1 HP. And like I said, when you do that manual crawl math yourself, a lot of times it's so easy to mess it up that I don't like to trust when I think I'm 1 away from death. We're just going to random effects. Oh, and we hasted the ogre. And that's the problem with random effects. Well, let's just see if we can random effects our way out of this situation. Yay! Now we have a friendly hasted ogre. To glory, friendly hasted ogre. Okay. I kind of want to keep trying to pick fights with my friendly hasted ogre, but I also really don't want to push my luck. So you see there, that's why random effects you kind of start. Because imagine if I had done that to a really high MR enemy, and then the slave charge there didn't work, and I started having... Oh, Edmund. I wonder if we can... Alright. I'm going to go find that ogre again, and he's going to fight Edmund. Or actually, can I get Edmund? What's my chance on Edmund? Oh, Edmund is 59. You know what, actually, I'd still rather try to get the ogre, because I'd rather get the experience for killing Edmund. So, dun 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 dun. Ogre, you suck balls. There you go. God damn it! Ogre won? Alright, well now I'm going to turn on my friend here. This is a great time to use random effects because if I do something good to him, he won't leave my thrall. He's only gonna... Oh, but I made him invisible. Oh, for a moment, I guess. But yeah, so this is a great time to burn my random effects charges when trying to get rid of things. Because, like, he's invisible now, but since I did a good thing to him, he's still my friend. Oh, that was... What did I do? I detect the charm? I don't know what that is, detecting. Regardless, now I really gotta kill this fool. Yeah! Flail of crushing. Hey, I got another wand of random effects, I guess. Alright. Let's quick at it where we're at now. This flame is low, which is why I kind of had to start dicking around with random effects here. So I did get experience. If you're curious, I get half experience for Edmund dying there. I was kind of hoping that Edmund would kill the ogre, then I would finish off Edmund and get it all, but... You know, Edmund is dead, and that's what matters. Okay. Scorpion. You know what, especially if I've got a second random effects one, I'm just going to start going nuts. Alright, he's hasted. We're going to take like one more shot and then go up the stairs. 2 more shots. Who's going to teleport? Sure, I'm just going to leave. Anyway. Temple? Nope. So it's a scroll of noise, so no monster's going to converge on the staircase. Probably going to run away. Enchanted weapon. And Fear Scroll. Fear Scrolls are really strong. I'm glad to have them ID'd, even if it means I lost it. I don't have one right now. It just kind of scares every monster near you, and I'm almost certain that it depends on your evocations. Since we just started this floor, we will read ID this. Oh, never mind. We won't need to, because here's the temple. We just walked into it. Lovely, lovely. Well, it's funny, because normally you find... Oh, I accidentally hit O. Because I was trying to hit Control O. Normally you just find some shrines walking around, and temples just... noteworthy for having the largest collection of them. In this case, oh, but we got the complete temple. So usually there's some shrines on the ground, just kind of around, and then other shrines in the temple. And there can be, like, you know, shrines appearing multiple times and stuff, but you just need, it's kind of the first altar that matters. In this case, we got this layout of the temple that's got literally every altar. It does not always have literally every altar. Usually it's a large but not complete subset. But at the other hand, usually you find some altars just around. So now it's a bit annoying because I kind of like to, like, as each god comes up and I say, well, let's read its stuff. Is it good for us? Is it bad for us? In this case, we got all of them at once. And I don't particularly want to walk and do a preview of each god. I'm just going to walk up to this random Dithmanos just to kind of show you how it looks like. You hit the down key to kneel. Kind of a... It used to be pray, but the specialized pray macro is kind of like so specific to a few situations. They got rid of it, so now you go down on an altar by literally doing the down staircase key, but at the altar. So you can see here, it'll show you the kind of things. Dithmanos the Shadowed. He desires darkness. You gain an auditory affinity to shadows. He despises fire, and he wants you to destroy sources of fire. The granted powers are here, and then they go into some more detail here, where you're surrounded by an aura of shadow, which Umbras will give you, like, more stealth and make you harder to hit. You can instantly step into the shadow of nearby creatures. You can, if you're hit by a big attack, you'll build smoke. You can have your shadow copy, become a shadow. And then it kind of shows the same powers here in a less narrative way, maybe. And then it shows here, if you use fire, he hates you. And when he's angered, he will have illusions and shadows attack you. And then you go to sleep and stuff. So you don't want to turn on gods. Their wrath is usually quite bad, except for there's a trinity of good gods, and if you go from a good god to a non-evil god, they won't exhibit wrath upon you because they're merciful. Anyway, we do not wish to join this religion yet. He's the god of stabbing, so you get, like, your aura that makes you stealthier. And we got +4 stealth. So stabbing is kind of alright. But on the other hand, we haven't found any good, you know, enchanted daggers or anything yet. There's just a lot of dang gods. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of pick one without going into all these names. You have to trust me, it seems like a fun idea. Because we're kind of going as a generalist, so we're going to follow this god who's sort of a generalist god, and I personally haven't gotten much experience with Hepliakuklana. It's a god new to this new version here, 0.19. So I want to worship Hep, so we're going to do it. The way Hep works is you sacrifice a small part of your life essence to manifest your ancestor into the world. As you explore and form experiences, you'll find you're able to shape and control their memory, bring them to the ranks of mythic heroes. So it reduces your HP by 10%, which stinks, but we have not too much HP, so we don't lose that much more. Sorry. Remember the stories of the adventures. So as you level up, you get an ancestor that levels up. Just kind of like a durable summon that will follow you around. You can remember them and kind of make them have a class. You can make them stronger, and you can swap them with other creatures. So with Hep, they've got a really interesting wrath. You just don't get experience for a long time, and then you still take that 10% frailty until you finish their wrath. We're doing it though. So now we have Sagelzimu, except I always like to say hi YouTube. So just to make you guys feel involved, YouTube is neither. YouTube was always neither, I'm pretty sure. So now me and YouTube are gonna go rock some stuff. Right now YouTube is this weak little dinky thing, but still good to like pin enemies down and stuff. And then yeah. So now we got a Scorpion, but now we're gonna stop and let YouTube join the fray. YouTube is not helping much. We need to flame wand this fucker, because we are taking hells of damage. Well, the flame wand is out. I don't want to risk random effects now. Now we're going to go back into the temple, because it's slightly closer than the staircase. And the temple is safe. That's one nice thing about it. There's no baddies. So now there's the question. So now that we have found temple, I don't read ID these scrolls. I save it for one of two things. Because sometimes these branches, you'll find timed branches. It'll be like, there is an ossuary here, but you have to make it in time or the door closes forever. So I like to save unknown scrolls that could be magic mapping now for that, is what magic mapping is good for. Or there's just the chance that there's a few scrolls that can help in clutch situations. Although actually I already found fear and blinking, which are kind of the big ones for that. So that now I kind of like to save it to just panic read, and then I wait till I have 2 of that scroll to read it. That's not as important anymore though now, because I did find fear and blinking, actually. So yeah, I think it's mostly just me saving, because for magic mapping I'd rather find it out. And as soon as I get magic mapping though, I think I'm back to just re-IDing on cooldown to try to catch enchant armor and recharging and inquirement, which I want to read right away. Fog is the only scroll now that you kind of like can really help me out of a panic situation by reading it. And the thing about that is you wouldn't, like, unless you knew you had fog, you wouldn't be reading scrolls in those situations. Here we go. This is much more like what I expected to happen than me having to finally burn out my flame wand. Alright, so an orc priest. Orc priests are dangerous. I don't know if I covered them last time. They're one of the scariest early monsters because they can... Oh, I should probably put the word orc in front. Because they've got their smite, which is just 7 to 17 damage just to things they see. And hounds are fast. So what we're going to do is we're gonna throw one rock at the hound, and then we're going to take the hound with us up the stairs, because hounds are fast. We can't kite the priest around with the hound. And we definitely want to fight them both at once. We could go for an enslave tactic, but in this case, you see here, it wasn't that bad once we kited, so that's what we're going to do. Oh, that's right. I was wondering, I thought I remember something dangerous about the staircase. It was just that we read that noise scroll. By now, they presumably come and seen, oh, there's nothing. Okay, there's an ant. Boom. So you saw that little question mark around his head. That's one reason I wanted to do it. Because you can get distraction stabs if they're busy fighting YouTube. I kind of catch them in their blind spot. And I mean, they're not as damaging as normal stabs. But they're still something. And in fact, one thing I'm going to do right now is, since I'm going to have a decent amount of experience coming in. Like I said, I want to get short blades to 10. But I am going to start now multiing. Just if I get a lot of experience at one chunk. I don't really want to go over 10. I want to hit 10 about as exactly as I can. So now I want to train fighting and dodging, like I said, my defensive stats. And then I also want to train stealth now, because I think I'm going to be getting a lot more distraction stabs. So I want them to do more damage, right? And then there's also this new thing called invocations. So this just lets you use the powers granted to you by your god. In this case, we're going to wait till we actually have one of those powers, which will be Idealize, which lets me heal and make my ancestor stronger and tougher. Or stronger and tougher is stupid. Stronger and like healthier, it heals it some. And then there's one where I can swap my ancestor with an enemy. So we're going to kite the hound backwards. We're going to stop here because I want YouTube to be able to hit it as well. So if I go back one more, it will just hit YouTube. And I want to go for the... I'm not trying to run away and have YouTube cover for me, which is an option in some scenarios. But right now, it's not what I want to do. I want to just... It's worth noting now, too, the Gnoll has a polearm with reach, so he's hitting us right now. And in fact, now that we took that hit, we are going to just do this. YouTube's going to fight the polearm guy. This is probably going to kill him, but... Oh no, YouTube got a kill on one of them. We're just going to head for the upstairs and then recall YouTube. Actually, because the Gnoll, he sort of got one lucky hit on me, but he's not terrifically strong. So I think I'm going to go, because the zombie's almost dead. Kill the zombie. And then I'm going to let one Gnoll follow me up, just to split the pack up. Wow, that flail actually did a lot of damage, though. So now we're going to do... Alright, this is a really annoying tactic. It's called pillar dancing. It basically means if you've got a regular speed enemy, you just walk around the pillar until one of two things happens. Because this crawl has this randomized speed system. I forget if I covered it last episode, so I'm going to cover it here. Where basically when things have the same speed as you, they've got a small chance of having something be a tenth of a turn faster or slower. So that they can eventually get hits on you when you walk around like this. But it can also work the other way, where sometimes this gap will open up. So with pillar dancing, you just run around until either a gap opens, and then you take that chance, because you know with random energy, eventually the gap's going to close, but you say, while it's open, I'm going to go up the staircase. Or you just keep running around, ring around the rosy, so you heal. I wonder if YouTube lived. Yes. Awesome. Now, let's go kill that adder. I'm going to just TT to shout for attention so that the enemies who are still here show up. Because I don't want that adder to catch me by surprise. So, oh, there's still an orc priest here even? So this is a bit dangerous because the orc priest's might. So we're going to try to kite this orc up the escape hatch. Look how many floors. We're back up to floor 2 now. We had to just go back like 3 floors in a row because I kept being shit. Alright, well, let's go down here. And then here we go. This is a great way to find the orc priest. Just be nice and close. They're not that durable. It's just that the smite does a loaded damage. And now we're going to go back and deal with them gnolls. Or that one gnoll that we kited up. And now we're going to go back down to deal with the gnoll we left down. There we go. That was many floors of abstraction. That's what you do. Oh, fuck. This guy's flail fucking hurts, man. YouTube, deal with it. Yeah, YouTube, I love you. Because the gnoll isn't that... Again, the gnoll is actually quite weak. He just that flailed. He kept getting really high rolls on it, and it was just us being cautious. Brilliant. Okay, the sword blades are getting close. We're going to get fighting to like 3, just to get a bit of extra HP. It's not much, but the thing about fighting is your HP is a function of like your fighting and your level. So as you get levels up, even a little bit of fighting can kind of go a long way. This is a player ghost. So one cool thing about playing online is when people die, their ghosts will haunt the levels. So this used to be a player character, Naga Berserker Trog. Now we just learned how much we can get rocked by flails. So we are going to leave this ghost the dang heck alone for now. Problem is he's wandering, so this exclusion isn't exact, so I'm still not going to auto-explore. Because we can't really... It's not like a sleeping guy where you can at least reasonably trust the exclusion. Alright. And this level is so big, too. But I'm just going to give up on that part of it. Because, like, that player ghost could really wreck us for now. Alright, we're going to wait on the staircase to heal up. But we're fine. Oh, Doan. So you see Doan, brother of Duvesta, that's a hint for you. You can also XV. He's always going to be in a pack with his sister. Now, as it happens, how's our enslavement looking? Have I ever said that it's capital V to evoke stuff? I hope so, because I've done it like a million times. If I haven't, it's capital V. So the thing about Doan and Duvessa is that when you kill one, their sibling will become angry with you. And... Oh, Runa, that's good. Okay. And you want to kill Doan first. Now that being said, I often will, when I've got enslavement, try to enslave one to fight the other. But here, I wonder if I can just kill this orc in time. And we can just... Without enslavement. Oh! This situation has officially escalated. I just want to enslave the damn ogre. Because the vest is going to become... No! Stop getting in the way! I don't want to enslave your ass. You're like weakened as hell. Okay, here we go. Ghost? Really? Yeah! So I want him to kill Doan, because Doan, when he gets sibling enraged, he'll get like the stronger spell set. And I think it would even kill me in one hit. Right, if we look at his new... He doesn't show the damage on the new spells, I guess, but they're strong. So, now what I'm hoping is that the Ogre kills Doan, Devessa will be Zerk, but then we're just going to run away and let her kind of tire herself out. So now I need to stand here to be in range of Doan, like, visibly. Do I risk the random effect? As long as it's not haste, I'm kind of okay. So we're going to go for it. Whoopserino. That's why you gotta be careful fucking with this. I don't want to use my blink scroll, but I might have to. So her base is 10. She's using a Rapier of Speed. So she's gonna... So, like, technically she only does 17, but she could do it, like, twice to my any one action. I could quaff Agility and hope for the best. I mean, the problem is just I really want this to finish off Doan here. What I might have to do is blink scroll this way to be with my buddies. I hate to waste a blink scroll here, but I would also hate to die. And I think this is the best option. And then we're going to start cutting backwards. Brilliant! This iguana is not brilliant at all. Our short blades is hit 10. We're going to seal it off, get our dodging going. Let's play the roulette again, for lack of anything better. Yeah, buddy, this is the kind of content I'm here for. Okay, and whew. If I had gotten some buffs for her, I'd have been in trouble. YouTube is back. Alright, well that did not go exactly the way I wanted, but we survived. And that's why I'm playing an Evoker, to show you if you dick around with magical items, you too can pull off some crazy shit. Alright, ruined armor, please be good. Oh, we finished taking off and then this orc showed up. So right now we're weaker than usual because we're not wearing any armor, but it's also just orcs, I don't care. Now we're going to close this and finish putting on this armor. Oh, it's just normal armor that's cursed. Lovely. We're going to drop... We're going to keep this flame wand because if we get recharging, like, there have been situations there where we've relied on random effects where we really would have liked consistent, even if small damage. And since we have a random effects with this, and we can always recharge this if we want, this burned out random effects. Just useless for us. Unless we were going to recharge 2 random effects wands at once, which we are not going to do. So... Okay, dodging's up to 4. Now we're going to go ahead and grab a little bit of stealth for those distraction stabs. Yeah, I'm going to enable this. I want to get fighting to 4, and then we're gonna try Evo stealth for a bit. We're just going to walk past this orc to just start buzzsawing the priest. Oh wait, shit. I just realized that it was 17. For some reason I thought it was 13. Smite was 17, so I could have died there. That was stupid. Also, what the fuck am I doing? Why don't I use her Rapier of Speed? Okay. So now, we're going to get this to min delay. We're changing. We're changing. Well, why don't we get stealth up a bit? But, yeah, this is a really good weapon. I don't know why. Ow. I got this Rapier now. I think I could have died there again, too. I'm just super tilted after that fight. As evidenced by I didn't even notice that hound. I need to just cool down a second. That's the main thing that kills you in Crawl, this hubris. So we're gonna take a step back. I got kind of tiltery now by all that. We got this awesome rapier. We're gonna get stealth up a bit. Just because we're getting these distraction stabs with YouTube here, But otherwise, we're now going to get the short blades to 14 because this is Rapier of Speed. So min delay is half as much. So we're going to get to swing 3 times a turn, basically, with this +5 Rapier. We can get some work done with this puppy. We also found some more identifiers. We're going to go ahead and get some potions. So that's Potion of Magic. Gives us more MP. Right now we don't care about MP really. Potion of Resistance is really good. It gives you fire, cold, electricity, poison, and acid resistance for a while. And Potion of Haste is very, very good. Can get you out of some bad situations. So we got some more tools now. We still want to find a good, reliable damage wand. So we stop fucking around with random effects and getting ourselves into trouble. But we made it out okay. I mean, we had to waste our... Also, I'm going to drop this. I'm never going to want this over this freaking Rapier of Speed. There's no reason why... I'm going to get stealth to like 5 or 6. It's going to be so cheap. Like, it's going to be 7.7 for that compared to 2. And I'll get it to like 5 or 6. Because stealth is also just useful to not get caught, you know? YouTube remembered more of its old skill. Does that mean like the old comment system? Hi-oh. Ooh, a Falchion of Holy Wrath. So that's a long blade. We don't really want to use it, but we've got 4.0 long blades from cross-training. So if there's a demon, it's nice to have this Falchion around just to slash in, because Holy Wrath does a lot of extra damage to demons. So we'll keep this as a nice, fun little swap. We're going to go up here so that YouTube can get some hits in. Look how much better this Falchion is than what we were doing before. Wow. Alright, that's the Player Ghost. I think we could likely take that Player Ghost on, but there's just no reason to try. So I'm going to go back to not auto-exploring now that we're near its turf again. And we're going to just go back to walking regular. What's our stealth at? 4. We're now up to 3 pips of stealth. Yeah, we'll go like 6. Still a trivial investment, but just a little bit less likely to start fights, a little bit more damage on the distraction stabs. He has a Falchion of Protection. Ooh, shiny. So he's going to be hard to kill, except I got him, so. Yeah, we're just kind of a buzzsaw now with this. I'm not going to bother picking up that Falchion of Protection. Because it used to be that protection, it's just a weapon brand that gives you AC. And it used to be kind of good to just keep one around to like run from bad fights with. But then because of that being kind of degenerate and scummy, that very approach, how it works instead now is that you have to hit with a protection branded thing, but then it gives you like a more AC than it used to. But in our case, since it's a long blade, we don't really want to be using it as our go-to weapon because we are short blades. Ching. Hey, let's go stealth. Even though it was an adder zombie, who's weak as hell anyway. So jellies corrode. They used to be when corrosion was permanent, you had to be really careful to kill jelly. Now you can just stab them. It's nice. Actually 5's fine. I was gonna go higher, but no, I just want to get to 14 ASAP because that's gonna help us so much. Book of Changes. We got our first spell book. Now if we hold M, we can see these. You can see level 1 spells, just kind of by virtue of us being level 9 and having 12 int, we can already get started on. Of course, you still want to train the skills up, but the point is it's really quick to get to them. However, Changes, very useless spellbook for us. Changes is for transmuters. It's where you change your form to be like a different body and then hit things with your unarmed combat skill. They're quite fun. Actually, my best character I've ever had was a transmuter. So I might play one later just because I've learned how to do transmuters very well. Look how much easier this is when you can just kill them this fast. But you don't really want to just go into transmutation as a weapon user like this. You would get very little out of it. That's a Howler Monkey. He yells loud and gets friends, but we killed all his friends, so whoops. Oh, Orc Warrior. So the next level of Orc is around here. We're trying to like cut a balance to not See, this situation could just go south really fast. Warriors are strong, and then the orc priests are priests. So we're going to cut around this corner here. Okay. Problem is the upstairs are so far away. So do we just try this out because the orc priest is going to have a lot of trouble here? I'm going to let YouTube kill the adder. Oh, he's got a dagger of electrocution. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't want it. Yeah, now we're going to run back and buzzsaw the warrior. And then we can cut out or the priest. And now we can deal with the warrior a lot better. Because now we can just have the 2v1 and when shit goes sour, I can just walk away. And let YouTube finish him off. We're going to take this dagger. I don't know if we're ever going to use it, but I just want to have it on hand. So electrocution is a very powerful brand. Or just does a huge amount of damage and it's good at stabbing. But like I said, we're not particularly a stabber, and this rapier of speed seems fine. Another thing we're going to do, we're going to check now to make sure they're not cursed. We've got so much remove curse. If we have to waste one, it's fine. So we're just going to quick equip these and make sure they come out of our hands, because we wouldn't want to, in the middle of combat, do a swap. Like, we wouldn't want to have to swap to Holy Wrath because there's a demon. We killed a demon with Holy Wrath. Now there's a non-demon, but we need to take the turn to remove curse in combat. Yeah. So, I mean, if I had found the Dagger of Elec before this rapier, like if I had found that Dagger of Elec on turn floor 2 or 3 or whatever, I probably would have, like, gone Stabber, maybe even switched it with Manos, you know, like, really invested into it. But now I think I'd rather just go with this rapier. Especially because, yeah, my god's Hepli Applicano, which doesn't really have anything for stabbers. Hey, 1 AC. It's for me. Hey, there's a ring that might be better than... Oh, can my ghost see invisible? Yes. So Sky Beast can go invisible. So it's nice that I got an ally who can see it. The ally like won't tell me enough to let me see invisible, but it will be able to do the invisible thing for me. So this ring of stealth is cool, cause yeah, I'm stealthier now. It's even more reason why I'm torn now, cause like the dagger, if I just like switch to the dagger right now and leveled stealth, I could make a go of it. The problem is though, actually, here's why I won't, cause Elec dagger is really damaging. But the downside to electricity is that when it pops, it's very loud. So you can't have a whole like group of enemies who are sleeping and get stabs on all of them. Boom. So with even my 5 stealth in this rapier, it's enough that I can one-shot the ogre, which is good. That bullfrog zombie is not trivial, actually. Oh, amulet. So amulets are interesting because they often have more dangerous things when you remove them. So like amulets are designed to kind of wear it for a long time, and there's sometimes a penalty for taking off an amulet. In this case, we have so few identify, and we have no amulet now. We're going to put on this amulet and just see what happens. So the amulet of Evocable Rage. So now we can evoke a Berserker Rage, which will increase your health, speed, and damage. It's pretty strong, Berserking. There's usually a god all about Berserking, and since we are a Kobold, the main penalty of Berserking, as you saw, there was this huge food cost. We don't really care about the food cost much, because we are a Carnivore. We've got a strong weapon. We can actually make a hell of a lot of use out of this bad boy. Berserking with a Falchion of Speed at min delay. So after we hit min delay, we are going to switch back to Evo now, because we're just going to lean on this Berserker Rage for a while. Get it to, like... almost guaranteed success. Now, the penalties of Berserking are you can't read potions and use wands and all these other cool things. So, the downside to a Berserker Rage is you kind of have to know you're going to win it on this melee, because if shit escalates... I just found a shitload of Identify. Wow. I can catch up on some of these potions. Still saving 1, of course, for the potential of finding a good wand. Degeneration's an actively bad potion, which is why it's in red, and we're just going to drop it. We're also going to drop this mutation potion. But, what was I saying? Yeah, that's the downside to Berserk, is if it goes sour, you're in even more trouble, because you can't kind of use your same panic buttons. But it just kind of gets... Oh, look, I got the distraction stab. And the more exclamation points means it does more damage. So, yeah, that's why I'm training stealth. That becomes stronger, so... But, yeah, we'll get a lot of value out of the Berserk Rage, though, so I'm definitely... Even though there's those downsides to it. Like I said, there's a whole god called Trog. And that's why I said... Remember how I said Berserkers are, like, the easiest class? It's because you start worshipping Trog, who gives you this kind of on-demand rage as a god ability. So having this as part of it... What was I trying to say? Having this as part of, like, my inbuilt stuff is useful. So I can remember more of my ancestor's life now. So now I can... This is the big decision to make as a Hep worshipper. Should my ancestor be a knight? A strong defensive combatant? Now that would be good because if they're living longer, I get more distraction stabs. But as a hexer, then they might make it so I can stab just through the hexes. And then Battle Mage is just boom. I think I don't want Battle Mage. I'm going to see. If I put Help, I'm sure it'll put it here. I wonder if they'll have a guide to what ancestor you do. Okay, remember life should have the guide. So... I don't think I want Battle Mage because I'm not keeping my ancestor alive. I'm counting on my ancestor to keep me alive. Right? So I think Battle Mage is out. The question is, do I use my Knight, try to have them give me distraction stabs and they cleave, or the Hexer kind of do the same thing I'm doing so we just hang up on it. And the problem is, I wish I knew what those hexes were. Awesome, here we go. Hexer, support companion. So they'll get paralyzed over time. So on the one hand, there's two schools of thought here. Hexer would be really good in the sense that I'm already stabbing, right? So he focuses on paralyzing to get stabs. I stab too, and we just boom, boom. That's one thought. Other school of thought is, there are wands of paralysis and wands of confusion that I will eventually find in the dungeon. Most likely. Right? So enemies who have a magic resist, where I'm able to get them, I'm already training Evo. I can already hex, I mean not hex, but evoke hex wands at those enemies. I can already paralyze and confuse those enemies and get those stabs myself. Some enemies are going to have such a high magic resist that hexing them is just out of the question. Then I could have a knight who can deal with the guys I can already kind of... Basically, the idea is that Hexer would be really good against people. Like, the average value of Hexer would be better. But the Hexer is going to be bad against the same people I'm going to be bad against. Whereas the Knight will just kind of be consistent and get me distraction stabs, potentially, on enemies who can't be hexed into being confused or stuff because their resists are too high. And I think I've convinced myself. Dagger, slow, and confuse. I mean, was sweet, but not until XL15 even does that slow paralyze. And then, like... I mean, as soon as I find a Hex Wand, I'm going to be like, oh, okay. I think I just want a Knight doing it. If this was on Twitch, I'd put it up to Twitch chat, but I'm just recording this solo. I don't want to cut the video here just for faux suspense, so I'm going to just go for the Knight. It is so. YouTube the Knight. Here are your stats, YouTube. Hope you enjoy. So now I've got my big strong YouTube the Knight. I'm going to be getting Evocable Berserk Rage soon. I forget how long this has been running. It tells me the frame's encoded. Hang on. I'm gonna be silly about this. Cause I can see on the side I've encoded about 195,000 frames. I don't have my calculator in my focus area, so you can't see it. So at 60 frames a second, that's many seconds, which is... So this has been going about 54 minutes. We'll do one more floor. One more floor. You gotta see new YouTube in action now. Oh shit, the Roar of Battle! That's one of those timed branches I was talking about. Well, now I might end with the faux suspense. I don't know if I want to try to rush the whole Bailey in this video. acquirement is an insanely good scroll. It just gives you a thing that you want. This is quite early to find acquirement. So there are two strong things to do here. There's two options. Weapon acquirements, besides just kind of being kind of weak in general, right, is I've got quite a good weapon relative to where I'm at anyway. So there's three things. Some people say always acquire armor. It's kind of one of the crawl axioms is just get a good piece of armor, get good resists. We have no good armor at all, so that's strong. One funny thing is that in the crawl community, this has morphed into always acquire barmer, because if you hit A to acquire, you get a weapon. So people would think always acquire armor, and they'd hit A. So no, it's always acquire barmer, right? So on the one hand, I could just say, I don't want to think about this, always acquire barmer. On the other hand, I am a hexer. Or not a hexer, I am an evoker. And in fact, I know as soon as I get this sword to Mindalay, which is very soon, I'm going to be focusing largely on evocations to get my Berserker Rage to reliable levels. So I could say, not only do I have a nice Berserker Rage, I could get either a wand or a miscellaneous evocable. Now, I'm going to consult the knowledge bots to talk about the... So the problem is, I can see it says type acquirement. Oh, miss is why. Okay. I was going to say they didn't tell me what the values are, but they are there. I just didn't see them. That's not helping at all, Hensel. You lied to me. So the crawl wiki sometimes has these, but the crawl wiki is often out of date. And I know they changed acquirement like this version. Well, I could just do I guess let me read wand acquirement also. So the problem is certain wands have much higher weights. Wands you haven't seen have double weight. And there's a lot of not that good wands still that I haven't seen, right? But if I just got like a nice acid wand, that could get me some value. This is a hard choice between miscellaneous evocable, wand, and armor. So the miscellaneous evocables, I could just get... A rod would be insanely useful. A rod is sort of like a rechargeable wand. It just has a spell in it that you can use once or twice. Depends kind of how much you recharge it. Not that many times, and then it slowly recharges over time. And they're very useful for evokers. I would love a rod, but unfortunately, Hensel has failed us here. You know what? This is important enough. Acquirement is such a big deal, and this is pretty early for it. We are going to go to the crawl wiki and see when it was last updated when we read acquirement. I didn't show this off in the first videos because the crawl wiki has a lot of outdated stuff on it. But this says someone updated it for 0.19, so let's see. You receive a magical, wieldable, and invocable item, including rods. Rods includes Lantern Shadow, Phantom Mirror, Pound Deck. I'd love a rod. Lantern Shadows or Phantom Mirror would be kind of a waste of it. So we look at these are the kind of things I could get. And I would be really hopeful for a rod. And the Air Elemental fan would be kind of okay. So it doesn't summon Air Elementals anymore. It just... Oh yeah, never mind. It's the Fan of Gales is the one that's in. And this isn't up to date. I don't think it summons anymore. I can just so easily imagine a world where I hit Miss Evocable, I get a Phantom Mirror, and I'm like, well, that was stupid. As for wands, and I'm not... Oh, here, it does let me / to view known items. I was going to say, I can't do it through the normal command, but it special cased it here. So, wands I haven't seen, double value. Let's just go right down the list and see how it would feel. Acid, pretty good. It's just a damaging, cleaving bolt. Right? Confusion, it's not super great, but I mean, if I have good evocations with things with ONOR, I can get distraction stabs, and it's got a load of charges on it. Disintegration, checks MR, does a huge amount of damage, would be great. Hasting Wand, obviously very good. You haste yourself. Heal Wounds Wand is very good. You get healing on tap. Ice Blast, you saw through random effects a couple of times, that sort of AoE square of damage. pretty good in AoE. It's not so good to kill one big enemy. Lightning is like the inaccurate but damaging, cleaving kind of bolt. So imagine Acid with more kind of potential and more bouncing, but less reliable. Paralysis would be really good for me because I can get people to get, like, basically it's the same as being sleeping. I make them helpless and then I can just get a short blade stab and kill them. Polymorph I think would be the biggest, like, loss of these ones. Like the biggest, like, oh man, that sucked. Because it just turns an enemy into something else with similar hit dice, which means it often can be more dangerous even. So polymorphing is only really good for an enemy where you're like, I happen to know that this enemy is uncommonly dangerous for its hit die and anything else would be better, right? Tele ones are kind of interesting. They're known as one of the big 3 ones. You see here, like, the more powerful ones tend to have fewer charges. Which is why Paralysis has half as much as Confusion, because it's just kind of a more powerful thing. Teleportation is one of the big 3 with Hastening and Heal Wounds. I think it's a lot less useful, though. Simply because these are potion effects that are very kind of rare. Whereas Teleportation, it's like, I often find the Tele scrolls I get give me enough random Tele in a game. Now, there are some certain strategies where Tele ones can be really useful, where if you're kind of trying to scum around and just not fight enemies and just random Tele over and over to get where you gotta go and then recharge it, but I'm just not the biggest fan of it. So I would actually be still kind of unhappy. I mean, not unhappy, but like, Tele wand and Polymorph wand don't help me kill things right away. Slowing, kind of good, but not super good. A lot of these wands would be valuable, but I think I'm just gonna always acquire Armor and then just stick with the conventional wisdom for now. Something appeared at my feet. And always require armor fucked me really bad. Plate armor is armor that has a huge encumbrance rating. I guess I'm going to put it on because it could give me a huge bonus to strength, and then I train. Really, even then, my armor is so bad skill. Acquirement is supposed to be biased to help you. So that was insanely terrible. Randomly weighted by my skills. So I just got really unlucky then with the random weighting. Fucking A. Well, I even picked... I picked armor specifically because I'm thinking, unlike the evocables, I got no chance to regret. But then I got this piece of fucking garbage. I'm going to try it on, I guess. Maybe it will give me a huge boost to strength so that I can wear it effectively. No, I mean, those are some decent resists, but they're not worth the huge penalties I'm going to incur from wearing the damn thing. What is the next one? Now I can kind of stop and I can look around at some of my other things to decide what should I use. Do I just always require armor again? I don't have any boots, so I could get +0. I mean, this thing I got 1 AC from +0 boots. You know what? I'm just going to say that was just a super unlucky. We're just going to always require armor again. A hat. +0 hat. At least it gives me 1 AC. Oh, wait, no, I had a helmet. Wow, those were some shit acquirements, my friends. We're going to replace this ring of stealth with, yeah, protection from cold. Fuck not being quite as stealthy. I'd rather have some walking around resists. Well, that was exciting. This acquirement can often troll you, but that was pretty bad even for acquirement. It was like a legendary rock that doesn't fit on your body. And it's like, wow, this is too heavy. It's like, oh, little baby doesn't like us heavy. Here's a hat. I'm the god of acquirement. You can fuck off. We still have this Bailey. I didn't forget. Scroll of Fog. Also, I'm seeing you get these warnings, tell you roughly how distant it is and how much longer you've got before it closes. Scroll of Random Uselessness. Amnesia. So we didn't have any magic mapping. Okay. Well, probably should have picked wands, but if I had been looking here with like a nice +2 armor with a brand on it or something, it'd be like, nice, nice. So, At least now if I find another scroll of requirements, I know what it is. I can read it right away and not waste its potential sitting in inventory. But Christ almighty, that was stupid. Okay. Oh, I have a scroll. Spare identify. Sure. Lignification. Lignification's interesting. You turn into a tree. Which gives you resist poison. And, okay, YouTube. So now I feel comfortable dealing with the ogre because I'm quite strong, and then if I take even a single hit, I can just leave it to YouTube to finish it off. So now we're in an interesting spot because we don't necessarily want to rest to full all the time because we're trying to find this Bailey before the gate closes. So now we're going to... Fuck. I was really, really hoping I'd get some stabs there. Actually, though, if I buzzsaw the priest, the rest of this ain't too bad. That's why I'm actually walking into this fight, because no one but the ogre is going to really hurt me much. The main danger is the priest smiting me, so it's actually safer for me to just get in here, get greasy. And I'm going to try to swing for the wizard last, so that the ogre sits around here near YouTube for as long as possible. And then we're going to... Yes, we got him before he got a hit off, which is good, because I don't need to rest as much. It's an amnesia scroll. We're just going to leave it on the ground to come back for it, because we're in kind of full Bailey mode. Oh my god. So, I really need to be careful about that priest. So we're going to just let YouTube thin the chaff until I can have it so I can jump into the formation. And yeah. Okay. Well, that's the game saying, sorry for the requirement. Here's a really good wand you would have gotten if you had acquired wands. Thanks, game. This is why I save an identify scroll for these situations. So now, 5 times I can heal a huge amount of damage from myself. It's quite strong effect. Whew! Killer bees, one of the most dangerous enemies in early dungeon, because they're fast and poisonous. Since they're fast, we need to. Now I think, normally with bees, it's just like, I'm just going to dig in. In this case, I think we've got just enough time. We can get ourselves back into here. YouTube's going to die, which stinks, but... Oh no! I guess because YouTube probably can't be poisoned, yeah. Ghosts. We're going to rest up a bit, even though there's the Bailey, because I don't want to die also. We're going to read this. There's immolation. Immolation's an interesting one. It means if you... The way immolation works is that you give this inner flame buff to things, then if they die, they explode. So actually, I guess that situation was mildly dangerous for me, because if the ogre had one-shot YouTube, then I suppose he would, hey, sleeping. Got some stabs in. Okay, so now the portcullis is nearby, which is nice. We're going to grab this one. We're not going to figure out what it does yet, because every turn counts. We're looking for this Bailey. But we know it's nearby. Pop up so YouTube can open the Hornet. Hornets are pretty dangerous, actually, because they can paralyze. Oh, whoops, I went one over. I got so distracted with everything. Okay, we're going to get Berserk Rage to reliable levels. Okay. Oh, well, like I said, it's not super wasted to go over. I just wasn't paying attention, I guess, when I hit 14. Yeah, you still get some extra value out of it. It's just not as important once you've already hit min delay. So, I thought for sure the Bailey was going to be... It's nearby. Where the hell is it? I guess down here is like the only... There it is. Okay. Let's go. So, important thing here is there's a gate leading back out of this place. Baileys can be very dangerous. The branches are kind of allowed to be dangerous because... Oh, that was cursed. So we're going to... read or remove curse, because if we random telly here, it could literally kill us. Because that's the way that ring works, it just kind of warps you around. Yeah, that could have been fatal. Because, like I said, the Bailey is allowed to be super dangerous because there's all these portals out of this place. Oh, so this is... This is kind of a gimmick because I don't have flight. If I had a Vulcable flight, right, then the idea behind this is that I fly over this deep water and get them. But they've got pole arms. And I don't have flight except for one potion of it. And they're all just going to reach me over this gap here. I mean, I guess we can see what YouTube can pull off here, but probably I just have to kind of write this whole Bailey off as a loss. Yeah, wow, holy shit. Look how much damage that one helper did to me just now. Alright, well, that Bailey was pointless. Because there was no safe way for me to do that. I could have thrown rocks, something. Can we catch this? So centaurs are super dangerous because they are fast and ranged. So you just want to walk up to them and be as close as possible when they wake up. Even if you don't get the stab. Because if you try to run from them, they just shoot you down from afar, and it's very terrifying. So respect centaurs, but in this case, respecting them is walking towards them. And in fact, I'm going to ignore these whites and just make sure I can get the centaur down. Now, whites are a bit annoying because they will drain your skills with their attacks. The way skill draining works is that basically you lose some ranks in the skill that comes back from experience, but you don't lose that experience. It's just like sort of attacks that as experience comes in, some percent of it also reduces the tax. Actually, this is an excellent time to evoke Berserker Rage because we are just surrounded, and you extend the Berserker Rage by killing more things. And now the enemies are dead, and we walk backwards because when the rage stops, we're going to be slowed. Alright, so we did get some skill drain. Underscore. You see here shows the base level. It also suppresses cross draining. You got basically not drained at all. So I guess actually that extra 15 is kind of cute because now we're still at min delay, even drained. Yeah, was not the intention, but I'll take it. Here we go. And now the Lair of Beasts. Ho ho. And since we went down to very full because of that berserking, but fine. So the Lair of Beasts is the first major branch of the game. It's interesting because it's got a lot of strong monsters, but very kind of simple monsters. A lot of just straight up fight you in melee kind of fellas. So the Lair of Beasts is kind of the first branch off the dungeon that you'll do. You see it's 6 floors. So now we go down the lair. We're going to stop going down the dungeon, and we're going to do 6 floors of lair. And there's a lot of branches like that, and that's kind of where Dungeon Crawl starts getting really interesting. It's not just this dungeon, it's this huge branching map. So we're going to do the Lair of Beasts, I think, after this floor, which also means this is a great place to cut the video. And, oh, I failed to use the Berserk Rage. Got it this time. Screw you guys. I'm going home. We got drained again, it looks like. Actually, a little bit worse. Oh, well. What the hell? We're going to rest until we're no longer slowed. We're still exhausted, which means we can't berserk again, but I didn't feel the need to wait for that. Okay. So, that's our character. We've got a lot going for us. Not our requirement, though. But we've got this one to heal wounds, which is dope. Now, we're unfortunately a bit worse for it than other characters, because we're kind of this evasive little fella. Trying to not get hit much instead of tanking a lot, which means basically too many things one-shot us, or two-shot us, so that heal wounds isn't quite as useful. So we're probably going to go a bit more into training fighting than usual. Normally, you're like, I mean, obviously as a kobold who's also worshipping Hepliakukana. Hepliakukana, I'm going to practice that off camera. Every bit of health counts, but then it also means you're just not getting quite as much bang for your buck when you're training fighting, because you got all these molluses. But all the same, we want to definitely focus a bit more on fighting than we otherwise would in this situation, simply because we have a heal wounds wand now. So if we get down to a third health and heal back to full, that's really useful. But if we get killed 100 to 0, it doesn't help us at all. And this is kind of quite a rare and good find. So we're going to cherish it. So I think our plan is to get this Berserk Rage to like, 8% or something, and just our other evoking. Then we're going to go fighting and dodging for another round. Whenever we get a good god ability, we're going to focus on Invocation, get that up. We're going to wing it from there. But, yeah. Good shit. Interesting video. And here's hoping I'm going to survive the next one.